sports fans, if you weren't taking it serious, you were dead. You're like, okay, NBA's toast, college basketball's gotta follow. And that's where we started into that sports spiral and asking people what their relationship with sports is. And it's a year later. Maybe some of you, look, obviously our teams suck. I know that. There's no excuse. It's our job to come up with content to talk about it. We do. But maybe it's easier for you to just back away. Your teams are terrible, so it wasn't really that much of a sacrifice. Now, if you're a nutcase like me, and you're watching Jazz and Thunder at 10 o'clock at night, well, yeah, of course, having that taken away was weird. But it's interesting, Rico, like, that's why I was upset about March Madness, because I thought Cassius and those guys had a chance to win it all. Of course they did. Of course they did. Of course they did. But it was, I don't know, I mean, it's weird, Rico, because I didn't have a chance to think about it that much. Because even though sports was disappearing, the show wasn't. So, like, that was the mind bleep of it all. Like, we go from being this show that's, like, sold out a year in advance and, you know, crushes the numbers and, like, we do it all. And all of a sudden you're like, wait, sports is gone. And then your sponsors are gone. And you're like, okay, this is different. You know, like, I mean, we've all done, like, college radio where you don't have a lot of commercials. And you go from sold out, you know, to your clients freaking out and the business model's thrown upside down and you're playing like penis pill ads as PSAs and you're like, wow, this is effed. And then, you know, again, like, David's not here today. Like, David and Sully and Roberto and me, and like, you get together and go, okay, what's the game plan? This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. There's no time to think about sports being gone. And I will say this. If there's a positive for me as a fan, it was changing the show even more to be like, we're going to do football every day of the year. That the NFL offseason with free agency and the draft, every day. We will have a piece of that every day. And then, yeah, I did a lot of shows that were super serious and scary and all that. But, like, evolving it, making it less about calls, making it more about just content and just drive it home. And then really, it's just what's been crazy through it all, Rico, and I never would have expected that, is like, nobody left. I mean, we're a year into this. No one's left. This show's doing better than ever. It's just people changed how they consume it. You know what I mean? Like, that's really opened my mind to embrace some things I wouldn't embrace. You know, like even now, like radio.com Rewind is like, we do incredible numbers on that. And I'm like, how? But we do. And it's just, I think that's the thing, is when we do topics like this, I never got to sit there and wonder about sports being gone. Because for 4 hours every day, I had to talk about, okay, sports might be gone, but when is it coming back? What will it look like? NFL draft. It never totally left me. You know what I mean? Only the conversation changed.
The conversation changed. Like, a reason why radio.com works is because everybody else's schedule has changed. So, my goodness, you know what? I got to go and hop on this Zoom meeting. Let me pause the show and just pick it back up later. Whereas if you were at work, you couldn't do this. You were, I didn't hear any of that. So I think with everything changing, Mike, I mean, it was the phone call when I got when saying, hey, you want to come and work with me? Really?
You thought it was effing with you.
People,
who is this?
Am I being recorded? It took Mike 3 phone calls before I finally was like, okay, you're being serious right now. I was like, Mike, I'm not gonna fall for this rake. I'm not falling for the banana in the tailpipe. No, I don't know what this joke is, but it's not funny. So yeah.
But it's I don't know. You know what's funny too is, like, now a year later, like at the beginning, everyone's initial panic is like, oh my God, no sports. What's gonna happen? And it's like, you know, and I can't go too deep into this because Jimmy will flip and get in trouble, and I'm not allowed to. I can't tell you about how good we're doing. I'm not allowed to. Like, somehow that, whatever. 1 month in, great. 2 months in, great. A couple months into it, Rico, I went, all right, people ain't going nowhere. We're just going to keep grinding. The only thing I worried about is if this thing spilled over into 2021 and like sports was gone for a year, like if sports didn't come back by fall, then I'm like, dude, I don't know. What am I going to do? Sit here, playing Jethro Tull records? Like, what do you do long term? But I think we knew from the top there was too much money on the line for sports not to come back in some form. But yeah, I mean, we're a year into it. I think we see the light at the end of the tunnel. Sports, it's still important to me because it's my job. I've never viewed it otherwise. My fandom, which is always the side piece as a radio host that you can't, I don't ever think you can just be a fan or just be a host. It has to be a little bit of both. The fan piece will build back as we get more normal. That's the only way I can explain it.
It does. But I think that you're going to be amazed that you're going to see the amount of sellouts for every game, Mike.
Maybe.
I mean, like places like the Big House, they already sell out. But you're going to see sellouts at Spartan Stadium. You're going to see sellouts at Pistons games. You're going to see Tigers games on, a Wednesday night. Sold out or at 90% capacity. Why? Man, I've been stuck in the house all year long. And you got to remember this. I know times were tough for some people, but man, a lot of people had money that they were making with nothing to do with it, except for ordering stuff online. That was about it. So now I can actually go and spend some cash and do something nice. You're going to see that happen.
Let's go to David Novi, 97.1. What's up, David?
Hey guys, thanks for taking the call. Hey Rico, I'm with you, man. The loss of the NCAA tournament right at that very moment was the thing that really kind of smacked me in my face as far as like, this is real, this is getting serious, and then you yank away, and I'm a golf fan, when you yank away the Masters, and you put that on pause, and so during that time, that was the thing that smacked me in my face.
Hey, but I gotta be honest with you, it took me about 6 months to really recover from that. I was hurt deeply. And I know people like, oh, well, that was just me, man. Sports just was like, man, whatever, I don't care.
But here's the thing that you should ask, you should ask a question, like, as far as recovering to become a fan again, that happened to me when football season was able to complete the full season. And I was able to still do a fantasy draft, we were able to do some fantasy smack talk, and then you had the Super Bowl, which was a dud, but still you complete the season. But the other thing that hurt me too was I tried to watch the NBA bubble thing. You know what? I did not care who was in the final, who won the final. I just didn't care. I just couldn't watch it without the fans in the stands.
It was different. I think they did the best that they could. I think we'll look back at it, and it's a wonder they pulled it off. But you're right. It wore on me. It was the euphoria of the start of it, and then it wore off, and you're like, oh, man. And then you kind of got into baseball a little bit, and you're like, this isn't the World Series.
I tell you the one thing that you said that I had to admit it, and it was like, man, I hate to say that Mike is right. The college football, just sitting there in an empty stadium in the press box, it was worse than a spring.
Yeah, it didn't work. I'm with you 1,000%, my man. Ideal U, Tony Ortiz. Tony lost 50 pounds. He did it with Ideal U Health Center. How? Well, you need to call them and find out. But they do it by changing habits. And they're making an offer right now because they do it with Whole Foods. You book today, Ideal U gives you $200 of free groceries when you sign up for the program on top of a free body composition analysis. It worked for Tony, it can work for you, and in many cases, it can work very quickly. Again, sign up for the program today, idealu.us. You sign up today, you get $200 in free groceries, and you get that free body composition analysis. It's Ideal U Health Center, idealu.us. Hey, take advantage of the offer. Results may vary based on physical health and adherence to program and weight loss guarantees provided.
Radio.com Sports Minute. Breaking news this morning from Jeff Goodman, who tweeted,
Duke has a positive COVID test and will not play tonight in the ACC tourney. Source told Stadium. Looks like season is over for the Blue Devils. End of tweet. And just like that, apparently it is over. Duke is not going to play Florida State tonight in the ACC tourney. And not only that, Duke is not going to be going to the NCAA tournament. That's a wrap. So Duke won't be Duke, and they won't be on TV as much as Leave It to Beaver reruns. I mean, it was pretty clear for a while now that Duke was not Duke, and they probably were not going to go to the NCAA tournament. And I know there's going to be a lot of Duke haters who are going to revel in this, but you shouldn't. It's a drag. No competitor wants to have their season end like this and have it ripped from them like this. You want to get beaten on the floor, not in a lab. I'm Jim Rome.
Hi, this is Joe Cordell with the law firm Cordell & Cordell. When the prospect of divorce becomes a reality, you need a partner that you can count on. If you're a man in this situation, consider contacting Cordell & Cordell. We've helped men navigate complex legal matters for 30 years.
Contact Cordell & Cordell to schedule an appointment with one of our firm's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Online at CordellCordell.com. That's CordellCordell.com. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
Add a little excitement to your sports watching experience by betting on all the action on FanDuel. There's a reason why FanDuel is America's #1 sports book. It's an easy-to-use app. It's easy to register, make a deposit, and quickly find your bet. And when you win, they're going to get you your money in as little as 24 hours. Right now, FanDuel is letting you place your first bet risk-free up to $1,000. Just place a bet on any game, and FanDuel will refund you up to $1,000 back if you don't win your first bet. There's no strings attached. Just place any bet you want. If you win, you keep the cash. If you lose, they're going to get you your entire bet up to $1,000 back in site credit. If you've never tried FanDuel Sportsbook, what are you waiting for? Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started, and be sure to sign up with promo code Jansen so they know I sent you. That's FanDuel Sportsbook promo code Jansen. Must be 21 or over and present in Michigan. First online real money wager only. Site credit is non-withdrawable and expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See full terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problems? Call 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help.
Grow Green, Michigan's premier.
What's going on? No. How about give me 15 minutes and I will be there and go over it. Oh, yeah, I do remember this now. It's because I believe it was, the curb was crumbled. And I thought that when they took the approach out, the curb was going to disintegrate. Okay, all right.
A rare March tradition. College basketball blitz by our man Rico. Take it away, brother.
That's music to my ears. West are like, where the Big Ten, they'll have 9, 10 teams that on any given night can win. The SEC doesn't have that. They've never had that. It's only Florida and Kentucky, and now Alabama's joined that.
Well, it's stylistically, Rico, the ball that they play, I mean, it's just like, what are you doing? It's so helter-skelter. It just looks disorganized. Sorry.
The Houston Cougars.
See, this is a tough one. They are an ultra-gritty, defensive-minded team. They shoot it better than you think, even though they're defensive-minded. But man, again, hard to trust. I only got to watch them twice this year. I know some people have flirted with, hey, they're the best team you don't know about. I can't buy them past the second weekend. I can't do it.
You're doing one weekend better than me, Mike. I think they're going to be on that upset line in the second day. Yeah, second round.
I'm trying to be conservative because I don't know the matchups yet.
Right now, we're just having fun. This will be more scientific next week.
Scientific.
Yeah. West Virginia.
See,
Fighting Bob Huggins.
I have to remove my bias. I like him. Like, I know he's kind of a dirtbag and a mean guy, but in country, and this isn't your typical West Virginia. They don't do it very often. I know they did it a little bit today towards the end against Okie State. They were down. They play a different style of ball than normal. Rico, when you look at that team, you know what's interesting? All their losses, 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, 1 point. They're always in it. That benefits you when you play in the tourney. They're not going to tighten up in a tight spot. I'll go second weekend. I think West Virginia absolutely can get into that. They could be a surprise Elite 8 team.
I was about to say, I see probably a Elite 8 for them. Kansas Jayhawks.
First weekend, I think they suck. And dollar bills is gone by. So I don't even want to talk about Kansas. Rock chalk, get lost.
So let's stay in the Big 12. Okie State, Oklahoma State.
You're talking about heartstrings. They just got done beating West Virginia twice in a week, once without Cade Cunningham. I am an official member of the Cape Brigade. Rico, he's got a Carmelo Anthony type hold on that team where he could, on his own accord, carry them through. That said, generally when I fall in love with a team and a player, they bomb out the first one. I will say second weekend, but I got a bad feeling they're one bad shooting night away from getting beat.
Florida State Seminoles.
I think Leonard Hamilton is the worst coach in the history of basketball. And Florida State is super young, and the guards are super young. And the name of the 6'8" freshman point guard they have escapes me. I think that's a tough recipe in the NCAA tournament. So you combine a ball with a coach and a freshman, Michael Titan, might make a bad call. I'll say first weekend.
Mike, this may have been the biggest shock of the pandemic because I kept wondering, who the heck is Texas's new coach? Now it was Shaka Smart. He just grew his hair. I didn't know that he could grow hair.
I thought it was Nick Wright.
I'm like, Ryan, I'm like, who is that guy? I'm like, that's Shaka. I'm like, no, Shaka's bald. No, that's Shaka Smart. Texas Longhorns.
Oh boy, Rico. I don't know what to do with them. I've watched them a couple times. They look great. I've watched them a couple times. They look like crap. But when you look at it, I mean, look, Big 12 has some players in it. Big 12's got some teams. I actually think Big 12 were quite competitive this year, all Kansas jokes aside. I think you gotta, on base, put them into the second weekend. But they've got a Jekyll and Hyde about them, too, where I'll say second weekend, but man, you tell me, do I have a bad read on that team?
No, you don't. You know, that they are Jekyll and Hyde. You're right. This is one where it's going to depend on the matchups. Who's in their brackets, who's in their division, because that's going to let me know how well they play. This is where the style makes the fight. Loyola Chicago, the Fighting Sister Teams.
seen him once. Saw him beat up on Drake. My opinion should not be valued here. I'm excited Sister Jean won't be there because I can't stand her. But Porter Moser is a damn good coach. I mean, and again, I saw him once against the perceived second best team in the Movo. I'd say second weekend. I don't think anybody wants to line up and play that team. They're a pain in the ass. They don't turn it over. They're able to shoot it from the perimeter. And you got a coach who's taken them a long way in this tournament. That matters. I would not want to face that team. But again, I only saw them once in a winner-take-all game. Maybe recency bias guiding them.
No. Let's go last fourth. The Michigan Wolverines.
Third weekend. They can go all the way. As long as they eventually get Eli Brooks back, Dickinson gets a little more juice in his Capri Sun. I think they're one of the what do you say, Rico? 6 or 7 teams total in America in this thing. I think they're one.
The Michigan State Spartans.
Wow. After today, I think there is.
You'll get a chance to do this with the bracket.
Yeah, I think getting away from the Big Ten and getting away from Big Ten officiating will help them. I think there's a chance they could go second weekend and then get bludgeoned. If they're on the 10 or the 11 line, you're facing a 7 and a 2 or a 6 and a 3. And I just don't think there's a lot of good teams. I don't think there's many good teams in America right now. I don't. I think there's a lot of men. And MSU's shown an ability to beat some high-level teams. Get a little bit of rest, take the week off.
Mike, there's
Play an
6 teams,
opponent
as you
who
said.
doesn't know who they are.
Exactly.
I think that helps.
6 teams that could probably win it all, and everybody else gets just put in a hat. Final 2, North Carolina Tar Heels.
I'd love to answer this after tonight because if they ace out VTech, they're in and dangerous. They've won their last 2 games by a total of 90 points. I'm still going to say first weekend. I don't like the team. And I don't like Roy. He doesn't do any coaching. He just rolls the ball out there.
And as silly as it sounds, defending champion, Virginia Cavaliers.
Watched them today. Watched them a couple times this year. I hate them. I hate the way they play. They should have lost Syracuse today, and I wasn't very impressed, to be quite honest. Might be some recency bias there. Honestly, I'll go first weekend. And you know what? I admit, I'll probably be betting against them. I hate their guts. They're a crime against basketball. I hate them.
And next, that is the Blitz College Hoop Style. You guys have heard me talk about Hamilton Chevrolet, 14 and Mound, Andrew and his sales staff, great guys. He's probably celebrating right now because Michigan doesn't have to play Michigan State tomorrow. You know what else they'll be celebrating? Putting money and keeping money in your pocket. They're going to get you a great deal, guys. They're going to find the rebates. They're going to find incentives. They do the work. They're a complete team. They want to make sure that you're happy with your vehicle, but you didn't spend a ton of money on that. As a matter of fact, you go in there and you ask for the Rico deal. It's only 3 left. 2020 Chevy Bolts. $119 a month. Yeah, $119 a month. For 36 months, $995 down, you get 10,000 miles a year. Or if you don't want to lease it, you just want to buy one of those bad boys, just ask them. They will hook you up. We're talking like 0% rate, 72 months for and $7,000 off. Just go in there, ask for Andrew. If he's busy celebrating the Wolverines, get anybody on the sales staff. They can help you out. Get into a Rico deal. Hamilton Chevrolet, 14 and Mound, Chevrolet, find your road.
97.1 Flint Ticket.
From the WWJAM 950 Traffic Center, this report brought to you by the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. An accident is blocking the right shoulder, 94 westbound after Oakwood. There's a nearby building fire that has Eureka Road blocked west of 275. And then in Macomb County, there's a crash blocking all lanes on Hayes northbound just south of Utica Road. Southbound side of Hayes, only one lane is open. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
As we continue to face COVID-19, we're now facing flu season. So to protect us all, let's hit this virus head on. Get your flu vaccine. Learn more at michigan.gov/flu. A message from the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services.
What if you made the rules? You'd probably make ice cream mandatory for breakfast. Maybe you'd decide mullets were fashionable again. And if you were in charge of your wireless plan, you'd most likely do something to save yourself a bunch of money. Well, you're in luck. Because when you get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together, you can save up to $300 a year on your wireless bill. And with Xfinity Mobile, you can choose the perfect data option for each person using it. From unlimited to shared data or a mix of each. All in one plan. Hey, you're making the rules here. Get Xfinity Mobile and Internet together for just $35 a month. You'll get Internet for 12 months with a 1-year agreement and mobile with our 1 gig wireless data option. Go to Xfinity.com/savebig, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store to learn more. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 3/22/21. Restrictions apply. New performance starter customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Wireless savings compares to averages of top providers. Xfinity Internet required.
Did you know there's more than one Las Vegas? There's the Strip with families on vacation and questionable odds. Then there's downtown Vegas, the original gambling and entertainment mecca. That's where you'll find the D Las Vegas. Book your stay today at thedee.com. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Mike Tempura of National Benefit Plans. For affordable life insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Breaking news on 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Radio.com Sports and presented by BetQL. Become a better sports bettor. Get smarter to beat the books. Download the BetQL app or visit BetQL.com today. You could win the ticket signing bonus. $1,000 11 times each weekday. Powered by BetQL. Let BetQL's proven data and analytics help you become a better bettor. Download the BetQL app today. Listen for the keyword at half past each hour between 7 a.m. and 6 a.m. Text that keyword to 72881 before the end of that hour. Message and data rates apply. You could win a $1,000 signing bonus on 97.1 The Ticket. WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. A Radio.com sports station. Sports headlines all day, every day. From the Sold by Mike Z Sports Desk. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
Brought to you by National Benefit Plans. The Wolverines have their opponent for tomorrow in the Big Ten tournament, and it will be Maryland. The Terrapins defeating Michigan State in the second round of the Big Ten tournament, 68-57 the final score. MSU down despite a career-high 19 points from Malik Hall. Elsewhere in the Big Ten tournament, midway through the second half between Ohio State and Minnesota, the Buckeyes leading by 10, 50-40, with about 11 and a half minutes to go in their game. Later on, it will be